Alrighty, and the moment that we have all been waiting for, it is football time in Baseball Town. The Alvernia Golden Wolves making their maiden voyage as a football team, off to a decent start, 1-2, 0-1 in conference, hosting your Wilkes University Colonels with their explosive offense, their outstanding quarterback, Jose Tabora. The Colonels 1-3 on the season, 0-2 in conference, but look to get off the schneid today. My name is Chris Del Sordo here on the John Mendola Show Network. Thrilled to join you guys today. It is my first broadcast of the year. I got to watch a lot of these Colonels last season. I saw all 10 losses, 0-10. And I can tell you right now, the energy that Coach John Drock has injected into this football team, the difference is almost beyond words. The confidence that this team has when they step to the gridiron, they expect to put points up. They expect to make stops. Now, what they have out for them today, dual quarterback look for Alvernia. Jake Dilcher, Marlon Brown, both true freshmen, both completely different looks that they deliver for the offense. Dilcher stands 6'1", 170 pounds, out of Avondale, PA. Southern Chester County resident, played his high school football in that difficult Chesmont Conference for the Avon Grove Sun Devils. And then Marlon Brown, wearing number 5, a little bit bigger, 6'3", 220, a Maryland resident. He can scramble, he can run around, he can create space. They both have found success early on this season for the Alvernia Golden Wolves. Expect to see both of them on the field today. Both teams now on the field. We are right behind home plate here at First Energy Stadium. There is an end zone along the left field line, kind of takes up third base area, and then the field runs out towards right field. The east end zone, that is in right field. The beautiful pool, a little too chilly to go swimming today, so that is empty, but the deck around the pool surrounded by fans. Wilkes in their home whites, yellow helmets, yellow pants. Alvernia, gray home uniforms, maroon helmets, maroon pants. At the ball, number 94, David Cutteroff. He kicks it with his right foot, puts a solid boot through it. It flares off, and it is fielded at the 9-yard line. That's Supnick, the wide receiver. He takes it and is cut down right away. I mean, he gets across the 10. But really, once he has at the 15, chopped down. And player numbers pretty tough to see on the far side of the field right now. So that's special teams tackle. We're going to wait for our spotter here. A teammate's going to congratulate number 49, Jeremiah Acker. Some time at fullback, some time on the special teams, the big burly running back tackle. As Alvernia their hard line. Dilcher pass, no, instead, the scat back faked the pass on the play. That was running back number 34, Daniel Scott, and instead, they handed it off right up the middle to big 35, Malcolm Carey. 6'1", 240, couple of yards on the play, chopped down, and it's going to be a second and, call it about 2 for the Golden Wolves. Or second and 8, a 2-yard gain, and now it's second and 8. Dilcher, he drops back to pass, looks to his right, quick hitter, spin move, man breaks free, looking for extra room as he cuts upfield. Is the scat back, number 7, Nico Skurlock. And did he get across the marker for the first down? Very close to it. I believe he got chopped down a couple yards short. So that's a 6-yard gain. It brings up 3 and 2, 3rd and 2. On the tackle, the senior linebacker, number 25, Michael Murphy, standout player on the team. All right, so it's 3rd and 2 after Skurlock with that 6-yard gain. And it's going to be a quick hitter. They're going to pass for it. Skurlock again on the out route. He will get the first down, turns upfield and gets some more yardage, and he takes it all the way across the 40-yard line. So that was a slow developing play on that 3rd and 2. They needed to get to the 26, and instead Skurlock picking up 16 as he gets to the 40. 1st and 10, quick hitter Brown runs to the right side. As Malcolm Brown into the game, now he takes the carry on offense, and he gets scooped up right in the middle there. That is number 36 with the tackle. Andrew Chang getting some action in his freshman season for the Colonels. Lucas Wood also helping out. Now a 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain up the middle. Play action swallowed up again. No room there. Running off left guard is the bigger of the 2 running backs, Malcolm Carey. And it brings up quickly a 3rd down. So 2 fast plays for Alvernia. They get 2 yards. It's 3rd and 3. They didn't need quite as much as I thought. Quick hitter Skurlock fighting for yards. He will dance across midfield and all the way down 45. And again, it is the quick hitter on 3rd down. Dilcher back into the contest. He tosses it out to Skurlock. And that's how Alvernia has been moving the ball so far today. Those little quick hitters. The third reception already for Skurlock on this drive. He's up over 30 yards on this possession. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Anderson, the outbound. Oh, and that is a fumble ball on the ground. And no, it is ruled an incomplete pass. Hard to tell the angles here as that one got thrown to the side in the direction of Anderson. Anderson could not hold on to the ball cleanly, and that will bring up 2nd and 10. So, pretty exciting back and forth game up to this point here at First Energy Stadium in Reading. Can't quite see the clock. There we go. So we have 12:49 left to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Red Wolves after that incomplete pass. It is a sweep to the right side. Hand off to Daniel Scott. Scott, not a lot of room there. He's the smaller of the two running backs. Got swallowed up by the Colonels' defensive line. That is big number 95 on the tackle, Pat Ricci. Sophomore out of Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania. He makes that tackle behind the line. And it brings up another 3rd down. The Golden Wolves, 2 for 2 on their last 2 attempts. 3rd and 8 now. Alvernia on the Wilkes 43. They have to get to the Colonels 35. Dilcher taking a lot of time here to get this snap off. 15 on the play clock as he takes it. Unencumbered blitz. Dilcher throws it up. Nobody open on the play as he was looking for his receiver, Jordan Day, out of Aberdeen, Maryland. Day was tussling up there with Najir Woods, the freshman defensive back, holding his own on the play. 4th down in Alvernia, trotting out the special teams unit. Wilkes defense, they bend, they do not break. A lot of yards for Alvernia. They take it up to the Wilkes 43. So call it a 41-yard drive for the Golden Wolves, but it will stop 3 minutes into the first quarter. 12:11 to go, 4th and 10. And out for the punt, number 49, Mitchell Carrick. High pop-up punt. I think Carrick really got under that one. I mean, this one goes about 8 yards in the air. It finally rolls over the Wilkes 40, and it gets touchdown at the Colonels' 39-yard line. So a punt that nets a whopping 4 yards off the foot of Mitchell Carrick, and now we get our look at one of Division III's most exciting players, the Colonels quarterback, Jose Tabora. Through 4 weeks of football, he has the 5th most yards passing of any quarterback at the Division III level. Jose, through 4 games, 1195 for you math heads back at home. That's 299 passing yards a football game. He's got an Alvernia defense that he's licking his chops to go after. Tabora under center. Jason Wiley will get the start in the I formation, and we have movement up front. No penalty flag as Alvernia resets. Man in motion is Stieber. They fake the handoff to Stieber on the sweep. They give it right up the middle to Wiley. He plunges ahead across the 35. Gets back to the line of scrimmage as he was running on a 5-yard running start there behind the offensive line. Give him 1 on the carry, and it brings up 2nd and 9 for the Colonels. Brandon Wiley, part of Jason Wiley, 5'8", 175 pounds, out of Westchester County, New York, Port Chester, New York. Big game stat-wise, exploding last week against Misericordia, and that heartbreaking 2-point loss for the Colonels. But proving he is a very integral part of this rushing offense. 2nd and 9 now. Tabora, man in motion is Yannick. Fakes the handoff, and that's an RPO, and he is swallowed up on the play by the Golden Wolves. They knew he was going to keep it. 3 players in gray sweaters making the tackle on Tabora. Leading the way, number 91 for the Golden Wolves. That is Will Smith, freshman defensive tackle out of Baltimore. Stout figure at 5'11", 250. He swallows up Jose. And Tabora losing 3 yards on that play on that well-read RPO. Brings up a 3rd and 13 now for the Colonels. So, pardon me, Tabora losing 4. 3rd and 13, 2 out to the right, 1 man to the left, 2 in the backfield, including Wiley and the fullback, Travis Taylor. Dropping back is Tabora, looks to his left, now looks to his right, across the middle, Stieber, it hit him right in between the hands, and he dropped it, and not an ideal start for Jeff Stieber's day, as the Colonels, a quick 1, 2, 3 and out as Stieber had some room. He needed to run for about 6 yards after the catch to pick up that first down on that 3rd and 13. It bounces off of his hands, so to Jose Tabora, officially 0 of 1 to start his day. And just like that, Wilkes punting it back to the Golden Wolves. Alexander DiSpirito, the new punter this season. Bobby Nye hanging up his cleats after last year. He was your linebacker and punter. Now it's DiSpirito doing the job. And he has some trouble with this one. Now it's going to get a great Wilkes bounce as it rolls across midfield. all the way down to the 40, and I think it will get across the 40 to the Alvernia 39. But that ball bounced off the ground before Despirito was even able to get the kick in off of it. So Alvernia now capitalizing on that less than stellar punt, netting Wilkes. Trying to attempt that math real quick. 16 yards. So a 16-yard punt following a 4-yard punt, and Alvernia with the ball on their own 40, 60 yards to go. Movement on the line. This is going to be a free play for Alvernia. They have a man wide open down the middle of the field. It's Nico Spurlock, and Spurlock, the freshman, 4 catches already, and this is a big one as he goes all the way across the 30, down to the 27-yard line. That was wide open down the middle of the field, 33 yards for the Golden Wolves as Dilcher saw the movement from the Wilkes defensive line, got the free play, and hits his man across the middle of the field. 4 catches for Nico Spurlock, 64 yards already to start off this contest. We're just 5 minutes into the game, 10-13 left to go in the first quarter. Alvernia, nothing. Wilkes, nothing. Dilcher with a man to his left. That's number 35, Malcolm Carey. Carey now goes to the right side of Dilcher as they change the play. 1st and 10 for Alvernia. It's a fake handoff. Dilcher going to roll out to his right now on the RPO. Huge block on the perimeter, but it is still swallowed up. Number 14, Najir Woods, the second time we got to call his name today. He makes the play there. As the great crackback block on the tight end took Andrew Chang out of the play, but Najir Woods holds his own, fights through his receiver block, and tackles Dilcher. No gain on the play as he is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd and 10 now for the Golden Wolves from the Wilkes 30. Dilcher, 1 to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to hand it off to Carey. Carey swallowed up by the Colonel's offensive line. Nowhere to go, and it's Lucas Wood, the senior do-it-everything linebacker. He's been doing it all 4 years for the Colonels. He's the first one to get there, wraps up Carey. And now it's a 3rd down. Alvernia, 3 third down conversions, on their first drive. This is their first 3rd down on this drive. 3rd and 12 as Moyer was the one that got in there as well along with Wood. And it's actually a 2-yard loss. I thought on the play, running back got back to the line of scrimmage. No, he did not. So Carey now going to the left side of Dilcher. Dilcher adjusting the play. 2 wide to the left. Solo man out wide to the right. Dilcher drops back. Rush coming on. It's hit as he throws. It's tipped up and incomplete. Lucas Wood, his sights set on Dilcher. He had the intention to do some damage on the play. Hits him right as Dilcher gets rid of the football. I mean, he came unencumbered. That pass was tipped by the defensive back, Woods. It was over everybody's grasp. And that forces a 4th down. A 4th down in beautiful no man's land. If you're Alvernia, you are on the Wilkes 30. Obviously, you're not in field goal range. That being said, a lot of options here for the Wolves. You never know, even a running play might open something up. They're going to go 3 wide to the left, 1 man wide to the right. Now the slot receiver motions into the tight end spot. Man in the backfield is Daniel Scott. And the quarterback, Jake Dilcher. Dilcher in the shotgun. He's going to drop back, look down at the field. Now he flares it off to Scott. Scott falls down immediately after making the catch. He loses 5 more yards on the play. The Colonels with the stop on 4th down, and they take over on offense on their own 35-yard line. So 2 drives for Alvernia. The first drive featuring sustained short passing that got the Golden Wolves down the field. They ultimately had to punt. The second drive for Alvernia, the big play on the free play to Nico Spurlock, and then 3 straight plays of lost yards. Jason Wiley was the first one to get in there and make the tackle on the running back, Scott, who really fell down the second that he caught the ball. So Wiley with the tackle for the loss of 5. Tabora back on offense, Colonels with the ball. 2 men in the backfield this time. We got Tarragna in there as well, but Tabora's going to take a shot downfield. He had Stieber, and he overthrew Jeff Stieber by a half a step. Stieber burning the cornerback on the play, who looked to be... Gosh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Very difficult to read these numbers from this vantage point. I believe that was number 20, Jordan Bowie, on the play, who's checking his cleats afterwards as Stieber got past him. Couldn't reel the pass in, though, as it was floated a little too long. It brings up 2nd and 10, Colonels, still on their own 35-yard line. 4 out wide, 2 on either side, tight end right. Tabora takes the snap, rolls to his right, eyes trained downfield, still looking to throw. Got a man, it is caught. Was he inbounds? The referees talking to each other, and no, he was out of bounds. Good hands shown by Juan Salas Negron, the impact freshman out of Loris Station, Pennsylvania. Had a couple of touchdowns last week against Misericordia. hauls in the ball just out of bounds down the sideline. Well, actually, let's see. The one referee comes in and he overturned the ruling on the field. Salas Negron give him 15 yards as he's out of bounds right at midfield. Tabora's first completion of the day. The first Colonel's catch goes to Juan Salas Negron. So, pardon me, he was in bounds. And now Tabora on the Alvernia 49. So give Juan Salas Negron 16 on that play. Stieber in motion. Tabora hands it off to the man in the backfield. That's Wiley. Wiley spinning off a defender, rolls forward for a gain of 2. Nate Richardson coming in and blowing that play up. Pardon me, Nick Richardson blowing that play up for Alvernia. 2 yards on the play for Wiley. It brings up 2nd and 8. And that was Juan Salas Negron with the big play down the right sideline as Tabora had great protection from his offensive line. Offensive line, fairly similar to the one that we saw last season. Brendan Boris, your starting left tackle today. William Nieves, the left guard. He saw a lot of action last season. Marcin Cabbage, the senior stalwart at center. Vincent Rogers, right guard. Mike Osai, big Osai at the right tackle. 2nd and 8, Tabora. That's an RPO. Play gets blown up. Tabora trying to stay on his feet, but no, he gets wrapped up and sacked. And that is number 54 on the play, Keon Lowry, the freshman out of Stuart, Florida, making the sack, doing his dance and getting on that big scoreboard out here in left center field as he sacks Jose Tabora. That play was blown up from the start. It was designed to be an RPO for Jose Tabora. What happened was the running backs ran in the wrong direction. So Jose was hung out to dry. It was basically on him to create his space and get the ball downfield. He just couldn't evade Lowry, who had the beat on him, and gets the sack. 2nd sack of the day for Alvernia. And it brings up a 3rd and 15 for the Colonels. Ball now on the Wilkes 47. They have to get to the Alvernia 38. Tabora drops back. They rush 5. Has a man downfield. Stieber, and he overthrew it. Miscommunication as it looked like Stieber might have been between 2 different routes there. He had a step on his defender to try and beat him deep. Could not beat him deep. And the ball overthrown on what would have been a surefire first down for the Colonels. It brings up 4th and 15. Despirito, a 16-yard punt the first time, trying to do a little bit better this go-around. Ball will be snapped at the 45. Despirito standing around the 31 for the Colonels. Skurlock, the man back deep to receive for the Golden Wolves. And once again, it comes funky off the foot of Despirito, but it takes a very good Colonels bounce, and I don't know if that hit the player on the Golden Wolves or not. Let's see. Is he in the end zone? We're waiting to see if the ball got touched by Alvernia. It looked like the player dropped. Skurlock dropped down to recover the football. They say he never touched it. Wilkes chases the ball down in the end zone, but all that does is give a touchback to the Colonels and gives the Golden Wolves the football at the 20-yard line. Hard to make heads or tails of what happened on that play there is, they're punting it away from us. The ball bouncing towards Skurlock. It took a great Colonel's bounce the second that it hit the ground. Skurlock dropped to his knee, looking like as an attempt to field the ball, and instead, ball rolls past him. The Colonels think it touches him. They dive on it in the end zone, trying to get the referees to signal touchdown, but no, ball never touches Skurlock, and so Alvernia now with the football at the 20-yard line. Dilcher back in, 6:11 to go in the first quarter. We are still scoreless. Alvernia nothing. Wilkes nothing. 3rd drive. Alvernia punted their first drive. Turnover on down to the 2nd drive. A handoff right side, sweeping to the outside for Malcolm Carey. Gets snuffed out by the Colonels. I mean, he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that is it. This perimeter defense moving very well. The secondary on the outside, these outside linemen, the ends, really covering ground. That was number 98, Vinny Werner, chasing the ball carrier off to the far side, and they are giving no gain on the play to Malcolm Carey. This time they're going to throw on 2nd down. It's Skurlock over the slot, spins away from a tackle, and then he is greeted by the team of Andrew Chang and Lucas Wood. That's a short gain for Skurlock. Looks to be about 5 as he takes it from the 20 across the 25. Maybe give him 6 as he gets to the 26. But we are coming up on a 3rd and 4 for the Golden Wolves, and the Colonels another chance to shut the door on Alvernia for a 3rd down. Alvernia offense moved in spurts in the first drive. The one big play the second drive really disjointed these past 10 plays. Let's see what Dilcher has on 3rd down. He drops back. He looks to his left. Overthrows, almost intercepted. He was looking for his tight end. Tight end they don't use too much in the offense. It's Matthew Monteverde, part-time quarterback, part-time tight end. or pardon me, Owen Morton, and he has the same role. He is listed as 4th on the quarterback depth chart, also 2nd string tight end. He was the intended receiver on that play. It goes over his head. Ball almost intercepted by Zach Weber, entering his 3rd season to play for the Colonels. Just couldn't get down and dive to it in time. Unfortunately, though, it looks like after that play, there was a penalty called against the Colonels. Yes, defensive holding. How about that? So a 5-yard penalty, and it moves the chains for Alvernia. Sometimes you can catch a break there. So I'm looking away from the play here as we thought it was an interception. That's why nobody was open on the right side of the field, defensive holding. 1st and 10 now. They screen it out to Skurlock. They throw it about 3 yards backwards. Skurlock with a block. He's able to get about 3 yards on the play as he takes it from the Alvernia 38 up ahead across the 40 to the 41. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Golden Wolves. So Dilcher, very efficient so far today. He is 7 of 10 for a whopping 60 yards. That's it. So they've been moving the ball. They've been able to dink and dunk pretty well. 60 yards so far on the day for Dilcher. 2nd and 7 for the Golden Wolves here. Dilcher drops back, and he hands it off on the sweep to Carey. Carey gets annihilated on the play right in front of the Alvernia bench as we're seeing the players come away from the wreckage. And that was actually not Carey, pardon me. That was Daniel Scott, the little guy on the sweep. They had them both in the backfield. I thought Dilcher handed it off to the man on his right. It was Scott coming across face. Making the tackle, number 9, Shane Montague and Bud Moyer. Gain of 1 on the little screen out to Skurlock. So he's able to fight back to the line of scrimmage and pass it for 1 more, pardon me. And it was a gain of 3 to the screen of Skurlock, a gain of 1 on that last play. And now 3rd and 6. Alvernia, once again, dinking and dunking. They converted twice already on this drive, and they would have again, except that ball hitting the chest of Jordan Day. He drops it incomplete, and another 3rd down stop for the Colonels. And once again, it is the punter, Mitchell Carrick, onto the field for Alvernia. So far today, has managed to kick the ball a whopping 4 yards. We've seen better punts. I mean, he really skied it. We're on a baseball field, and talking about pop-ups, that's what Mitchell did. 4th and 5, Alvernia on their own 37. Pardon me. Snap up, Carrick, a much better punt. Cade is back deep to return this one. Signals for a fair catch at the 24-yard line, and that is where the Colonels will take over their 4th possession. 3 straight 3-and-outs for the Colonels. Obviously, a team that is, hyped to be the offensive team of the Mac Freedom. Not the best start against the football team that's in its first year. That is the situation the Alvernia Golden Wolves find themselves in. Basketball school, baseball school, all the other schools, and this is the first year playing Division III football. Right now in the middle of a scoreless nothing game, 3:30 left to go here in the first quarter. Tabora drops back, looks to his left, throws to his left, has Stieber open, caught. Stieber across the marker, 1st down, and a host of Golden Wolves knocking him out of bounds after a 12-yard gain. 2nd completion of the day for Tabora. And the Colonels with their 2nd first down of the contest. Jose now 2 of 5 for 30 yards in the early going here is Stieber with his first catch of the contest. And the formation breaks here. In the backfield, number 35, Jason Wiley. Tabora drops back, looks to his left, gets the rush. Now he screens it off to the right. Wiley with blockers, cuts back, across the 35, out to the 40-yard line, and Brandon Wiley taking defenders with him. 6-yard gain as Tabora had to be fooled a little bit. And they had 2 different screens set up, did the Colonels. One to the left, one to the right. He throws it to his running back, Brandon Wiley, who does a great job picking up some yards with that big body of his after the catch. And it brings up a 2nd and 4. So a gain of 6 on that last play for the Colonels. Jason Wiley picking those up. 2nd and 4, ball at the 40. They empty it out, do the Colonels here. 3 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. It's Andrew Seymour and Nick Yannick out wide to the right. Salas Negron, Derek Nelson in the slot. Jeff Stieber out wide to the left. Tabora, quick hitter to the left to Salas Negron. They try to set up the wide out screen, and it is read beautifully by Alvernia once again. Number 17, actually, pardon me. I thought it was Jordan Bowie. Called his name a couple of times already, but that's number 17, Mike Schenlaber, making the tackle for the Golden Wolves, the sophomore free safety out of Lower Gwinnett, Pennsylvania. Salas Negron, that is his second catch of the day. Unfortunately, it loses one for the Colonels on the play, so he started off his day with a 16-yard completion. Right now, his stat line, 2 catches, 15 yards. And now the Colonels with a 3rd and long 5, short 6 in front of him here. Once again, the empty formation. Let's see what Tabora has in mind. Jose looks towards his bench. Now he calls for the snap. Drops back. Looks. Has a man in the left slot. It's caught. Yannick spinning. Yannick reaching. And it depends on the spot. Needed 6. Got 5. And they are short by about an inch. 4th and inches. Maybe a full yard. Yannick needed 6. Could only get 5. As he spun to the right, spun to the outside, and could not get out of the reach of number 8, Vincent Redmond. And so Coach Drock not going to test it here. Going to bring Despirito back on for his 3rd punt of the contest. We're in the final minute of the first quarter. 54 seconds remaining. Despirito waiting for the snap. Gets it. Good-looking punt this time off the foot of Despirito. It's angling left, taking about toward the sideline, and another friendly bounce for the Colonels. They hover around it right about at the 15, it looks like, and that's where the ball will be downed. So a solid punt off the foot of Despirito. He left some to be desired. 42 yards on that punt. And Alvernia, 36 seconds left to go in this first quarter. They once again take over possession. This time back deep in their own territory on their own 15. So Jose Tabora, his numbers have risen dramatically since those first 2 drives. He is 5 of 8 for 38 yards. Juan Salas Negron, 2 catches today. I had him for 16. Officially, give him 17. He's the leading receiver for the Colonels. Dilcher, a much better start to his day until he, right now, overthrow pass intercepted. And it's Weber running back the other way for the Colonels, Zachary Weber. He almost had the interception earlier. This time he just holds his own in the safety spot of the secondary. Dilcher really trying to force the issue to Nico Skurlock. That's who he was looking for again on that play. Overthrown right into the waiting arms of Weber. And he was able to return it back from his own, or from the Alvernia 40, give him 15 on the run back, as he takes it up to the Alvernia 25. So Tabora, 5 of 8, back on offense now with the Colonels just 5 yards away from the red zone. Brandon Wiley, a welcome addition to this team's rushing offense. Brandon Wiley is on offense. Jordan Wiley on defense. And now Tabora back onto the field breaking the huddle. So let's see if Wiley joins him. He's only ran the ball twice, 1 yard on 2 carries, 2 catches, 10 yards for Wiley. So now the Colonels, they got that big stop on the Weber interception. 28 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Tabora, once again, under center. He's really in the pistol this time as he drops back on first down. He's launching it towards the end zone. Has a man, and it is dropped. Not dropped by Stieber. Good closing defense on the play by Jordan Bowie yet again. As his hand was in the mix there, it hits off Stieber's paws. He can't haul it in as he was running the crossing route. If he would have caught it, he would have been right in front of the goal line for the Colonels. But Bowie, Johnny on the spot there to deflect that one away. Tabora now 5 of 9 on the day, and we have 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Once again, 1st and 10 for the Colonels. Ball on the Wilkes 25-yard, or on the Alvernia 25-yard line. Tabora hands it off to Wiley on the sweep, around the left side, spinning, fighting for yards, and he looks to have gotten about 3, potentially 4. It's Jason Wiley yet again, calling his name quite a bit. And as the clock ticks away, I don't know if Wilkes is going to be able to get this play off. He got 3 on the carry. It's 2nd and 7, and that'll do it. Clock winds down. We have reached the end of the first quarter. Fun quarter of football. Ball has been moved. It has not crossed the goal line. We are through 1 quarter here on the John Mendola Show Network. Wilkes nothing, Alvernia nothing. At this time, we'd like to thank our sponsors, McCarthy Tire Service, family owned since 1926. Arcaro Enginelli, authentic Italian takeaway cuisine, some of Wilkes Bar's finest. Second quarter starting in the next minute and a half. We will be back on the John Mendola Show Network momentarily. And we would also like to our sponsor, Frank Sorokak. Need any insurance needs? Get them met. Frank Sorokak, State Farm, 570-836-4000. And we are back here. The start of the second quarter, Wilkes with the ball. That was third down after the 3-yard carry. So, a 3rd and 7 for the Colonels. I had thought the ball was on the 25. It was on the 30, so now the ball at the 27. Tabora looks downfield, cross the middle, and that pass should have been intercepted. He was looking for Juan Salas Negron, and that's Mike Schenlieber. Again, second time we've called his name today, running across the face of the formation. He dropped the interception, but he gets the stop for Alvernia on third down. Wilkes in that same no man's land that Alvernia had found themselves in earlier on, and so they too will go for it here on fourth down. 4th and 7. Ball on the 27-yard line of Alvernia. The Colonels, after a Zach Weber interception, in good field position. They've gained just 3 yards on this drive so far. Jordan Jones, Justin Deem, the 2 tight end look out to the left. 3 wideouts to the right. Haven't seen this formation before, and I don't know if there's movement on the play or if a timeout has been called. But the side judge on the backside of the field closest to me, he waved his arms. He's running in, and now we have a referee huddle. Nick Dilcher, great job on this day for Alvernia. Well, we'll see him up momentarily. 7 of 12 was at one point 7 of 10. His last 2 passes thrown away. Tabora up and down today. He's been 5 of 10 through this early going, right at 50%. 38 yards so far, but 17 of those 38 yards came on a completion down the sideline to Juan Salas Negron. So it is 4th and 7. Ball on the 27. No penalty on that play. No illegal shift. Let's see what the Colonels have. Snap back. Tabora drops back. He's flushed. Looks, steps up, has a man, floats it. It is caught. Yannick down to the 1. He reaches, and he is down at the 1-yard line. Tabora, I thought he would be going down on the play. He's a magician when he gets to move those feet. That is his 6th completion of the day. Downfield, a 26-yard gain to Nick Yannick. So Jose Tabora, 6 of 11, 67 yards. Yannick diving for that goal line. He gets tackled 1 yard shy, but now first of goal, and let's see if it's time for the aforementioned Jason Wiley. He breaks the huddle with the Colonels. He is in the backfield with Tabora. 3 tight ends set as Deem and Jones are tight ends lined up to the left. Number 83, Bryce Harrison, tight end to the right. Stieber, the lone wideout. I think Tabora, I don't know if that play was lined up the way it was supposed to because we have a timeout on the field. Tabora not thrilled with the look he was getting, and that's the first timeout called by the Colonels. We will take a quick break here. We will be back shortly from First Energy Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania. Alrighty, we return here for the Colonels' first down play. It's 1st and goal at the 1. Same formation, so it wasn't anything Wilkes called. I think Alvernia just put a look out there that Wilkes wasn't ready for. If I had to guess on that, I think Tabora was probably trying to throw it on that one-on-one play to Stieber. Let's see what they do here. Wiley in the backfield behind Tabora. Harrison, tight end in motion. Deem down fullback. Tabora going to take it himself, lowering the shoulder. The huge push from the offensive line. And he's in. Touchdown, Colonels. Jose Tabora, the first touchdown of this contest. And he will do it on the quarterback sneak. Pretty fitting. He used his feet to convert the fourth down play to Yannick. They get 26 yards and then uses the feet to close out that final 1 yard gap. We have 14-13 left to go in the second quarter. Wilkes 6, Alvernia nothing. Place kicker making his way out for the Colonels. David Cutteroff. Snap is good. Hold great. Kick, right-footed kick from Cutteroff. It's up, it's hooking, and it hooks inside the left upright. It is good. The Colonels, 7-0 lead. The big play on that drive, obviously, the Zach Weber interception that got the drive started. He takes it down to the 30-yard line. Then a 26-yard gain on 4th and 7 for the Colonels as Tabora gets flushed out of pressure, keeps his eyes downfield, finds Nick Yannick, and then on the next play, a 1 yard quarterback sneak, and Wilkes up 7-0. Great drive there, although, it took that fourth down conversion. The spots are there for this Colonels offense, and that is what John Drocke made a point in talking to our Tom Ferguson earlier on this week about, just how fun it is to look out there, see these weapons that he, was able to curate himself with the confidence that they have in themselves that they are playing with. It's just fun for him, and it's really fun to watch. Never really any doubt. Give them, even if you have a drive off or two, there's never any doubt that the points are going to be scored when the Colonels hit the field. They score first, 7-0 lead for Wilkes. The Weber interception, giant play. It gave the Colonels a short field. So now, Cutteroff, the boot through it, line drive kick. It's going to be fielded by Anderson at the 16. Anderson, downfield, into a host of Colonels. Just running straight into the open green space that he did have in front of him was Anderson on the play, and give him 13 on the return as he takes it out to the 29-yard line. No, scratch that. Give him 11 on the return there, marking him down at the 27. Solid return there by Jamal Anderson. He's back on the field, playing wide out for the Golden Wolves, who trail your Wilkes Colonels 7-0. Dilcher back under center, 7 of 12, past 2 passes of the day, though, have been incomplete. His last pass he threw, an interception. Let's see what he has up his sleeve this time. Daniel Scott, smaller running back of the two. He's in the backfield, 2 wide to the left. They'll throw it to the left. They have a screen set up. This is Anderson dancing, nowhere to go. Najir Woods, the freshman defensive back out of Piscataway, New Jersey, his 3rd tackle of the day. That's his 2nd tackle for loss, as it is a 2-yard loss on the play by Daniel Scott. He loses to 2nd and 12. Same formation, 2 wide to the left. They're going to hand it off this time. Right up the middle is number 34, Scott. And this time, he sees that hole. He attacks it. That's a little body getting through a mass of men for the Colonels. He goes across the 30, up to the 31. That was a big run right when Alvernia needed it. A 6-yard gain, just really shouldering the load there was Daniel Scott. He is listed at 5'4", 170. The freshman out of Philadelphia. Showing some of that city toughness, man. He got right through the line, and it sets up a 3rd and 5. 3rd and manageable. It's intercepted. The ball floated, and they're ruling. Let's see if the back judge got it. They're ruling that pass incomplete as, once again, miscommunication. But that ball looked to have been cleanly intercepted on the play by Devin Fink, the converted defensive back. Both referees, though, saying the ball hit the ground. So what happened was he loft a screen to his running back. On the play, that running back was Carey. Carey was occupied with a blocker. Fink saw that's where the pass was, right behind the two. When the ball went over Carey's head, Fink was ready and waiting, had to reach out to grab it. And they said that, when he was reaching out, the ball did make contact with the ground. Unfortunate break for the Colonels, but it was a stop on 3rd down. 4th and 6. No, and it's blocked. Carrick's punt is tipped. It does get some positive yardage, though, and it takes a fantastic Alvernia roll. Play that was here. Espinal Katz coming in. Freshman defensive lineman out of Easton, PA. He tips the punt, but after a friendly roll, it goes all the way across the Wilkes 40 and it's down at the Wilkes 38-yard line. So even after getting tipped, that punt nets 23 yards. Off the foot of Mitchell Carrick. But credit Javier Espinal Katz. That may very career punt block. I'm not sure at any level, but very well could be here for the Colonels. And now the Colonels, a lot of offense, a lot of wind behind theirs after they just went down and scored a touchdown. 7-0. Wilkes leads. Tabora back in the pistol. Movement on the line here as we had one of those wholesale defensive line movements. The entire defensive line moved from left to right, and that caused a flinch. They call the false start penalty against number 75, and that is Anthony Marson Cabbage, the center. So he reacted to the defensive line moving. It'll march the Colonels' offense back 5 more yards, and it brings up a 1st and 15. Tabora. After the delay, they roll out to the right and then hand it off up the middle. And that's Wiley again. Jason Wiley really starting to get his number called. Sorry about that with the camera. Really starting to get his number called quite a bit today. Give him 5 as he just plunges through the line and gets those penalty yards right back for the Colonels. Mike Schenlieber, his 3rd tackle of the day for the Golden Wolves. And actually, Wiley 6. So now ball on the Wilkes 39. And those 5 penalty yards back plus 1. Wiley now, 4 carries for 12 yards on the day. Tabora's going to keep this one as they fake the handoff to Stieber on the end around. Alvernia, they were ready for him, but Tabora able to fall forward after he runs around the right side of the offensive line before being met by a couple of Alvernia linebackers. I believe that's Schenlieber again making the stop. As Tabora turning upfield and pardon me, that is Vincent Redmond, the freshman strong safety coming in. He runs the QB keeper. Tabora, give him 5 on the 4. Now with the ball on the 44, line to gain, Wilkes 48. Man, he's going left. Tabora is left. Now looks downfield, pumps, looks, floats it out, and that ball's intercepted. What a play. I swore Mike Schenlieber caught that ball in bounds as Tabora thought he put enough oomph on that ball to get it well out of bounds. Schenlieber, coverage on the play, close to the sideline, casually intercepts the ball. And, you know, that's 2 plays now that both teams look to have gotten robbed there. I don't have the best angle, but it looked like Schenlieber's feet weren't touching the out-of-bounds line. So all that is a dramatic, incomplete pass for Tabora. He is now 6 of 12 on the day. And Alvernia, their 3rd stop on the defensive end, the 3rd punt of the day, or pardon me, the 4th punt of the day for Andrew DeSpirito. Good high end-over-end punt. It's fielded by Anderson at the 14. Makes a man miss, gets across the 20, picks up a block. Oh, and then lift. He had room in front of him. He wanted to cut back to his left as he got across the 20 and slipped at about the 22-yard line. So an 8-yard return for Anderson. Back on offense, 11-12 to go in the 2nd quarter. It is still 7-0 Wilkes. Dilcher got off to a hot start. Did number 11, Jake Dilcher. He was 7 of 10. 1 of his last 4. He's 8 of 14, 59 yards. He has thrown 1 interception. In a little wishbone formation here with Carey to his left. He will give it to Carey on 1st down. Huge hole up the middle as Carey finds it, runs through it, gets across the 30, and he's tackled 1 yard shy of the 1st down at the 31. Gain of 9 for Carey, and that is his biggest run of the day. 23 yards on the ground now for big 35 Malcolm Carey. 5 carries, 23 yards. They call his number again. This time he slowed up. It was an RPO, and the Colonels' defense knew Dilcher was not going to pass. Dane Tarantelli, his 1st tackle of the day, and it will bring down Carey in the backfield for a loss of 1. Oh, they're actually there. I thought they stopped him like 1 yard short. Instead, they're bringing the chains out, and they got the 1st down. Gain of 1 that they needed. So 1 yard that Carey needed, he got. 1st and 10, chains move. My apologies. Dilcher. Blitz coming from the Colonels. Hands it off. That is Brown on the handoff for the Golden Wolves. Runs right into a pile of Colonels. And they give him back to the line of scrimmage on the play. 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. It's Wilkes 7, Alvernia nothing. To be honest, thought we were going to see a bit more offense. The defense have held their ground very well. Zach Weber intercepting a Jake Dilcher pass right before the end of the first quarter. The Colonels score a touchdown on the second play of the second quarter. We have 44 now on a running clock. Brown losing the yard on that play. Carey back in the backfield now, but Dilcher's going to pass. Drops back, has pressure, floats a pass up on a screen. Reaching up and hauling it in is number 35, Malcolm Carey. Not going to gain all that much on the play, but a pretty looking catch as he had to use every inch of his 6'1 frame to tip that ball up with his right hand, and he was able to corral it. 9.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. It proves to really just a gain of 2. They lose 1 on first down. They get 3. So call it gain of 3 on the second down. And it brings up a 3rd and 8 on third down. Line to gain the 43. Alvernia with the ball on their own 35. Long discussion here with the Golden Wolves sideline and quarterback Dilcher. And now he's back onto the field with the play. Just 4 seconds to get this play off. Dilcher does. Drops back, looks to his left, flush to his right. He's almost sacked. Forces a throw downfield, and nobody even in that general vicinity, he wasn't throwing away, was just throwing it to his right. Couldn't find anyone, and Dilcher now, 1 of his last 5. He started the day at 70% passing. He is down to 50% now, folks. 8 of 16 on the day. The Colonels, another stop. Five series, 5 stops for the Colonels defense, and we're back at it here. Carrick, that last punt of his was tipped and blocked by Espinal Katz, and it's tipped and blocked again. It's tipped and blocked again. Well, no, they're not calling it tipped because the flag is down. This time it was number 87, John Van Lenten, the freshman tight end, getting right on in there, and this time he made contact with the punter, Carrick. They can survive a running into the kicker. If it is a roughing the kicker, they will not, and that is exactly what it is. Van Lenten was in the area along with Murphy. And they're calling the penalty on Michael Murphy for roughing the kicker. So the ball was not tipped. 15-yard penalty in Alvernia. Gosh, that's going to move them all the way up to midfield. Goal opportunity for the Golden Wolves. So not much for the Alvernia offense, especially recently, but a timely roughing the kicker penalty, and now Dilcher on first down. There's a flag down. It's another free play. He's got Skurlock downfield, and he overthrew him. Skurlock running right around Najir Woods on that play, and Dilcher saw the flag down, so he decided to take a shot towards the end zone, but incomplete. Now that flag, as the referee makes his announcement, was for offsides. I believe they called that on 58. Is that Strollinger? Yes, it is. So Justin Strollinger coming in on the rushing linebacker spot. He gets called for the offside on that first down play. Handoff running left side. This is Brown. Brown past the line of scrimmage, around the corner, across the 45. And tackled at the 44. So with that being a 1st and 5, that's just a gain of 1. It's Bud Moyer sticking with that play all the way. His 4th tackle of the day. And it brings up a 2nd and 4 for the Golden Wolves. .8:42 on a running clock here. Dilcher. Somebody falls on the offensive line, so Dilcher has to pitch it out to Brown. Brown with the carry. Dives ahead. He might have gotten the first down. Had to get to the 40. That looks to be where he's at, so move the chains as someone on the left side of the Alvernia offensive line fell. It was definitely not a design part of the play. Dilcher started to roll to his right. The second that happened, he pitched the ball to Brown, and instead of running around the right side of the line, Brown ducked his head, ran straight forward, and was able to get the yards that he needed. Now in the first down play, they look a quick hitter to Jordan Day. He goes off to the right side, gets pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 3. 3-yard gain for Jordan Day. It brings up 2nd and 7 for the Golden Wolves. As Dilcher, 2 completions in a row after 5 straight incompletes. He fakes the handoff and miscommunication there. Whoever that was, I believe Anderson ran the wrong route as Dilcher anticipated him jetting into the end zone. Anderson drags across the middle of the field. Ball overthrown for an incompletion. And it brings up a 3rd and 7 on the Alvernia 37-yard line. The Colonels' defense, they have not been phased all that often. The past 4 third-down plays the Colonels have stopped. On that last punt, unfortunately, was the roughing the punter call. All right, 3rd and 7. Handoff up the middle. They try to get these yards back. I guess they're looking at this in 4th down territory. A plunging run right up the middle. And running the ball this time, Vinny Bobbin for the Golden Wolves. So he gets into the offense here, gets the carry. Gets what looks to be about 5. And it'll bring up a 4th and 5 right here. So here's Dilcher under center. Now he drops back into the pistol. Man to his right is number 35, Carey. He's going to hand it off to Carey. Needs to get 5. Let's see where the spot is. And it's going to be very close. Carey, big body back. He's saying he moved the chains, and he did. Gets just what he needs. To the 30-yard line does Carey, following his blockers around the left side. Wood was there. Moyer was there. They couldn't stop him short, and it is a 1st down. So unfortunately, 2 straight 4th down conversions for the Golden Wolves. They're getting deep into Wilkes territory here. This pitch out is diagnosed beautifully and swallowed up by the Colonels on defense. Giving chase originally was Lucas Wood. Najir Woods got in there and finishing the job was number 98, Vinny Werner, coming off the defensive line and tripping up the running back on the play. So Bobbin with the stop on the play. Carey losing 4. I thought he got back to the line of scrimmage, but no, he loses 4 on that end around. So 2nd and 14 now for Dilcher, looking towards his sideline. Golden Wolves reset. 2 out wide to the right, tight end left, wide out left, and the running back in the backfield, Malcolm Carey. Dilcher rolls to his right. He's going to throw downfield, gets flushed, has a linebacker bearing down on him, throws it into a crowd, and I think the catch was made. How about that? That's Jordan Day. 5 bodies in the area, and it's one of the 2 with a gray shirt on coming down with it. And Nick Dilcher all of a sudden pulling rabbits out of his hat here as the Golden Knights are moving. It took a roughing the kicker penalty and a 4th down conversion to do it, but they are now inside the red zone here. 1st and 10 on the Colonel's 16. 18-yard gain from Dilcher today. Dilcher looks Day's way again, quick hitter, and he is out of bounds. Could not haul that one in along the right sideline. But Jake Dilcher moving the Golden Wolves down as they are trying to tie this puppy up. 7-0 Wilkes. 5:47 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Jake Dilcher, 9 of 16 today. 58 yards. He has a long of 31. And he has thrown an interception. But all will be forgiven by the fan base here at First Energy Stadium if he can get him into the end zone here. 5:47 left to go. 2nd and 10. Ball on the Wilkes 16. Alvernia 16 yards from Pater. They hand it off to Brown on a left-sided sweep. He gets a block, and he will trot into the end zone. Touchdown, Alvernia. And that is not Daniel Brown, pardon me, but Daniel Scott, the little man, untouched. Great blocking on the left side of that offensive line. Amari Randolph, Ray Bishop leading the way for the Golden Wolves. They open up the hole, and we, barring an extra point, going to be tied here in Reading, PA. So it's 7-6, 5:39 left to go in the 2nd quarter. The kick is up. It is a line drive kick that gets up and through the uprights. It wasn't pretty for Joe Chavaria. Actually, that was Ben Strausser with the extra point. Not pretty, but hey, doesn't matter if the ball goes through the uprights, and that's exactly what it did. 5:39 left to go in the 1st quarter. We are all knotted up. Alvernia 7, your Wilkes Colonels 7. More after this on the John Mendola Show Network. Alrighty, Ben Strasser back onto the field for the Golden Wolves. He just lined home an extra point that tied us up at 7 apiece. Alvernia 7, Colonel 7, Wilkes waiting to receive the kickoff. Cadis back deep for the Colonels, along with number 26, Devin Fink. Cadis runs up under it, has a seam across the 30, around the corner, across the 35, still on his feet down the right sideline before finally getting brought down up past the 45-yard line. Huge return there for Cadis. He fielded it at around the 18-yard line, takes it all the way out to the 46 before running out of bounds on the play. Gain of 28 in the Colonels after having let up that game-tying touchdown in a good spot here. Ball on the Golden Wolves 46-yard line, rather. Pardon me. 28-yard return from the 18 to the 46. That's where Tabora will take over. Jose Tabora moving the needle today for the Colonels. 6 of 12, 67 yards, and a rushing touchdown. He hands it off on this play to Jason Wiley, running around the left side, ducks underneath, gets up close to midfield. Thought we might see a little mixed bag of Brandon Taragna, but it has been all Jason today. Thing out to the left side. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Colonels here. Ball just a hair shy of the field. Wiley, 6th carry of the day. Consistent numbers so far for the freshman. 6 carries, 16 yards, right at 6 carries, 18 yards, right at 3 yards per carry for Jason Wiley. 4:45 on a running clock left to go here. Tabora asking for his man in motion. That's Juan Salas Negron. He fakes the handoff to him, gives it up the middle to Jason Wiley. Wiley moving the pile, close to the first down. Just depends on the spot, but I do believe he got it. First down, Colonels, as Wiley takes, well, yeah, they are moving the chains. Needed 5.5, needed 6, and he got those 6. And so now Wiley really starting to feel it here for the Colonels offense. 7 carries now for the true freshman. Now with 24 yards and 2 first downs. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. The Colonels with the ball. It's a handoff again to Wiley. It's been working, so he plunges forward off left tackle for 5 more. The consistency here is beautiful to watch, as it's Wiley for 5, Wiley for 6, Wiley for 5. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Colonels now on the Alvernia 40. I talked to the sports information director, Vince Scalzo, a couple times about this last football season, that with the personnel the Colonels had, they like to stick to a sustained short passing game attack, quick hitters, a lot of runs, so that it opens up the deep pass. Tabora, one of the best at this level at doing that. Let's see if that opening is here on maybe this play. 2nd and 5, and they will throw, but it's a quick hitter to Nelson. Nelson catches it at the 35, makes the man miss. He's dancing across the 30, down to the 28-yard line, where he is blown up on the play by that looked like Todd White on the play. A big hit from Whiten, but not until Nelson gets the first down. He gets 12. Caught it 1 yard shy of the first down marker at the 36. Dances around for 8 yards after the catch and moves the chains. And the Colonels now on the Golden Wolves 28-yard line. And then after that, how about this? Personal foul on Whiten on the hit. It was close to the sideline. I didn't think it was in the ballpark of getting that 15-yard penalty, but yes, it is. And now the Colonels go from the 28 all the way down to the 14. Gotta love those half the distance to the goal penalties. Clock is running again. 3:10 on a running clock as Tabora breaks the huddle. Colonels and Golden Wolves tied at 7 apiece. Tabora surveying the scene here. 3 men in the backfield. But they're going to throw. Tabora had Stieber and threw it behind him. I don't know if that left Tabora's hand funny or what really happened on that play, but the route was there. The look was there. The open green of the end zone was there. And Tabora not on the money, throwing the ball behind Jeff Stieber. 2nd and 10 now. The Colonels at a great spot, maybe even in field goal range, as they are on the Alvernia 14. We are tied at 7. There's a late flag now, and it turns out to be an illegal formation on that prior play, so scratch that. Not 2nd and 10 from the 14. It is 1st and 15 from the 19 now for the Colonels. Got some reinforcements entering the game in the form of Nick Yannick and Derek Nelson. So they go out of that jumbo set, go back into the open set, and they empty it out wide here. 5 wide receivers. Richard Ermias out wide to the left. Yannick in the left slot. Nelson in the right slot. Salas Negron mid-right. Stieber out wide to the right. What does Tabora have up his sleeve? Rolls to his right. Pass, reaching out, diving catch. Juan Salas Negron. Give him 14 on the play. They needed 15. He's 1 yard short of the first down marker, but it brings up 2nd and 1 from the 5. I didn't see what Tabora was looking for there. I mean, that was really thrown into triple coverage, but Salas Negron had that step on everyone and then lunges forward, dives out, hauls it in. 2 minutes, 25 seconds on a running clock left in the second quarter, and the Colonels 5 yards away from pay dirt. It's 2nd and 1. Ball on the 5. Line to gain is the 4. And Devin Fink in the backfield for the Colonels. They fake it to him. Toss it to the fullback, and it would have been a Colonels touchdown, but it is dropped on the play by Matt Rossi. Oh, Coach Drock had it drawn up to perfection as everybody goes with the running back on that play. It was actually Andrew Chang in the game. But man down on the field, unfortunately for the Colonels, it is the senior center, Anthony Marson Cabbage. And gosh, from ecstasy to agony on that play, as the Colonels, they thought they were in there with 6. Ball dropped by Rossi. And now a very critical player, the cog, the mainstay, the stalwart, 4-year starter. All the things we can say right now about Anthony Marson Cabbage. And right now he is down. That right knee does not look to be feeling good. Gets a help up from the training staff, and he's going to limp off the field under his own power. Great to see. Obviously not going to be able to come in and play on this next play, but nice to see. Always love seeing the guys walk off the field under their own power. At the very least, he's mobile. So who knows? The training staff might not tell Coach Drock what he wants to hear, but at the end of the day, he's got a player walking on 2 feet off the football field. So we might not have seen the end of Anthony Marson Cabbage. Just like to remind you guys that this game is brought to you by State Farm agent Frank Sorokat. Your insurance needs 570-86. Along with McCarthy Tire Service, family owned since 1926. And Arcaro and Gannell's Takeaway Kitchen, Wilkes Bar's finest. Movement on the line now is Wilkes lining up for this 3rd and 1. That dance that the offensive and defensive linemen always do when the yellow laundry come out. They point at each other. But we got some Wilkes players clapping, and yes, this one's going against Alvernia. 3rd and 1 play, the last thing you need if you're a member of the Golden Wolves. And it was a neutral zone infraction that will give Wilkes an automatic first down. That pushes them forward half the distance to the goal. The ball more or less at the glorified 3-yard line for the Colonels. Now, 2:11 left to go in the... And Alvernia 7, the Colonels, ball on the 3. Jumbo package, no one split out wide. Tabora hands it off. Wiley off right guard, falls forward. Did he get there? No. Great job by the Golden Wolves defense, keeping Wiley on the wrong side of that white line. See a bunch of bodies down on the ground there for the Golden Wolves. And getting up out of the pile, last number 53, Christian France. Josh Donaldson also helping out the junior free safety on the play. And now the Colonels going to take a timeout. I think some of the players on Wilkes asking for them to run a review, as we do have the full camera crew here today. I'm not sure if we have the capabilities to do that or not, to be honest. It was close. Timeout on the field. 2 minutes left to go. We will take a timeout here as well. 2:01 left to go in the second quarter. It's Wilkes 7, Alvernia 7. Alrighty, we are back here. Wilkes returning from their timeout. 2:01 left to go in the second quarter. Second and goal from the 1. It was a neutral zone infraction penalty against the defense that got Wilkes this close to the goal line. And now, and along with a Jason Wiley run, put another flag down. And now I think Wilkes is going to have to walk those 5-yard back. It's an illegal formation called against the Colonels, and so they were at the 1. Now they're back at the 6. This brings up second and goal from the 6. We've had the ball moved 3 times by the referees since the last play. 2:01 seemingly been on the clock forever here at First Energy Stadium. And let's see what Coach Drock has drawn up now on this 2nd and 6. Nelson's back in the contest. A couple more options out there in the route running department. Juan Salas Negron out there as well. And they're 4 wide are the Colonels. Wiley in the backfield to Tabora's left. 2-man to the right. 2-man to the left. Tabora in the pistol. Gonna pass. No, he's gonna run. Tucks it in himself. It parts wide open. And Jose Tabora just has to follow his blockers. Touchdown, Colonels! For the 2nd time today, it's the feet of Jose Tabora crossing the goal line. And Wilkes up 13-7 with 1:57 left to go in the second quarter. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. Tabora having just ran the ball 3 times all day. 2 of them for scores. That kick up and good off the foot of number 94, David Cutteroff. And the Colonels, 14, Alvernia, 7. 1:57 left to go in the second quarter. We will be back after this on the John Mendola Show Network. We are back here at First Energy Stadium. The Colonels just taking the lead 14-7. 6-yard touchdown run by Jose Tabora. That is his 2nd of the night. First one from 1 yard out. Second one from 6 yards out. Cutteroff booting it deep. Anderson settling under it at the 14. Peels off to his right. Has a lane. Hits it. And has Green in front of him. 40, 45, 50. One-on-one. Gets past Cutteroff. He's down the sideline. And you can give it to him. Touchdown, Golden Wolves. How about Jamal Anderson? You could see the lane opening up from even all the way up here in the home plate press box. He explodes through it, makes again this with a nifty juke, got around the kicker, Cutteroff, and from that point on, clear sailing. 86 yards to the crib. And we can't have anything nice, can we? Because we are all knotted up, barring the extra point. But it is 14-13 now. Colonels only up 1. I couldn't even see with the numbers there. Anderson wearing 2, Daniel Scott wearing 34. And that was Daniel Scott, 34. He gets across the pylon. The touchdown is good. So it's not Jamal Anderson, but the other kick return to the running back, number 34, the little guy, Daniel Scott. These guys are both slight of frame, but 5'4", 170, and he hit that hole like a bat out of hell and got right down the sideline for the Golden Wolves. Wilkes 14, Alvernia 13. 1:44 left to go in the second. I mean, really, 16 seconds elapsed, and we have 2 touchdowns scored here at First Energy Stadium after 13 minutes of nothing in the second quarter. Line drive kick again and again, sneaks inside the right upright, gets over the crossbar, and is good on a line by number 98, Ben Strausser, with 1:44 left to go here in the second quarter. We are all knotted up at 14. The Baseball Town Gridiron Classic will return right after this on the John Mendola Show Network. Alrighty, fans, we are back here. Ben Strausser, he just made the extra point. Now he's going to kick it deep. 14-14. Jacob Cade is back for the Colonels. They pooch it. Cade gets to it right around the 19. He follows some. Heading towards the side. Cross 40, and Jacob Cadis, a 22-yard kick return as he gets out to the Wilkes 1-yard line. That's plenty of time. Minute 37 left to go. The Colonels 1-yard line. That's plenty of time. Minute 37 left to go. The Colonels 2 timeouts remaining. Jose Tabora, not as great as first half offensively, but he's gotten the Colonels into the end zone twice. 7 of 14, 81 yards through the air. Officially, 5 carries for 12 yards. He's been sacked twice, so 3 carries for 12 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Nick Yannick, Juan Salas Negron, the 2 main wideouts today. Jeff Stieber, he has 1 catch for 11, but Yannick, 2 for 34. Salas Negron, 3 for 31. Colonels ball on their own 41, and Tabor is going to start off with a pass down the sideline to Stieber. Stieber catches it, makes a man miss, but the recovery, solid job there for Alvernia defensive back number 17. Mike Schenlieber, he recovers after Stieber originally spun free. He makes his 4th tackle of the afternoon, dragging Jeff down after a gain of 10. He did move the markers there as they get across midfield to the 41. How about a diving catch on this play? But no, Stieber's out of bounds. They look his direction again. Just with a 10-yard catch was Jeff Stieber this time. Couldn't haul it in as Tabora leads him out way too far out to his left and goes out of bounds. So Stieber actually hauled it in. He just wasn't in bounds when he caught it. Brings up a second ball right at midfield. Call it the Alvernia 49. Tabora under center. Empty backfield. Drops back. Looks. Waits. Pumps. Throws. Contact downfield, and it's intercepted. Beautifully read, picked off on the play by number 47, Moses Ulysses. And he's got blockers. And he's following them. And he leaps, and he is all the way back to midfield for Alvernia. Gosh, that's a pass Jose Tabora wants back. He had a one-on-one opportunity with Stieber and Ulysses, but they run into each other with the ball in the air. Stieber doesn't give up on the play, but Ulysses got in better position. And Ulysses is the only man that could have really caught that one. He gets back, hauls it in, and then follows his blockers down the right sideline as he intercepted the ball right at around the 10. Give him about a 35-yard return as this ball is returned all the way back to the Alvernia 45-yard line. Moses Ulysses with the interception for the Golden Wolves. And now it puts Jake Dilcher in a spot where he's feeling really comfortable now. That Alvernia offense did nothing for the bulk of the second quarter. But they were able to drive down the field, punch it in on the first touchdown drive, and now Dilcher looks up with great field position. Oh, hang on. Believe we have offsetting penalties here on that interception return. So there was holding on the return by Alvernia. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Wilkes. They're going to scrub those penalties. So it is a interception, return 35 yards by Moses Ulysses. And what I was saying is Dilcher, the numbers, nothing great, nothing to write home about. And he had a lull there in the middle of the second quarter where it really looked like the wheels were coming off. But they were able to get into the end zone on the carry run. And from that point forward, they have been in the game because Wilkes takes the 14-7 lead, and they answer right back with the return. And now Wilkes looked like they were going to drive down the field, maybe get a touchdown before the half. And no, instead it's an interception. And now Dilcher, 57 seconds to get into maybe field goal range. He's going to launch it deep downfield, one-on-one play, and it's incomplete. Great defense by Amari Peterson, the sophomore out of Baltimore, Maryland. He had that one read the entire way. And it brings up a 2nd and 10 with 50 in the second quarter. Well, correction, I guess we have one as they announced. No, okay. For a second, I thought the referee said replay first down, but we were at second down, and they did. It was a neutral zone infraction. That was a free play, 5 yards taken away from the Colonels' defense, and now it's just a 1st and 5. They hand it off around the right side to Carey. Carey looking towards the first down marker right there at the 45. I think he got there. And, he got there. So they moved the sticks, did Malcolm Carey. He got the 5 that he needed around the right side. And he is becoming the story of the day for Alvernia, as he is very close to being on pace for 100 yards. Beautiful line to look at for Carey. He's got 12 carries, 48 yards, right at 4 yards per tote, and 1 touchdown so far. 46 seconds left to go in this quarter. 14 apiece. Dilcher drops back, fakes the handoff. Ball is tipped to the line. It's almost intercepted. Tarantelli climbing the ladder. Dane Tarantelli, all 6'3" of him, tips the ball with his left hand, dives forward, can't intercept it. But that brings up a 2nd and 10. 43 seconds left to go in the quarter. Jose Tabora got everything started with a 1-yard touchdown run, 2 plays into the second quarter. Malcolm Carey scored the second touchdown of this game to tie it up at 7 apiece midway through the second. The Colonels answer with a 6-yard touchdown run by Tabora, but on the very next play, an 86-yard touchdown return by Daniel Scott, the second-string running back, and that has us at 14 apiece. 2 Tabora touchdowns, 2 Alvernia running back touchdowns, and now a timeout called by Alvernia. They have 1 remaining. 32 seconds left in this first half. It was moving along rather quickly as we've come into the balance here at the end of the second quarter, my apologies. Really slowing down. Wilkes 14, Alvernia 14. 32 seconds left to go. It will be a 2nd and 10 when we return to action. Jake Dilcher for the Golden Wolves, 11 of 20 on the day. That is 55% completion percentage. He has thrown for 80 yards, nothing to write home about, nothing to sneeze at either, and he has thrown 1 interception. His long, 31 yards. Nico Skurlock, the leading receiver for the Golden Wolves, 4 catches, 47 yards. All 4 of those catches coming in the first 2 drives. We haven't called Nico's name for about an hour and a half. McAllister, a catch for 18 yards. Jamal Anderson, 3 catches just for a total of 16 yards. Malcolm Carey, the story on the ground for the Golden Wolves. He is now at 13 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. 3rd and 2 to go here. They have to get to the 36-yard line. It's Brown running into the defensive line, and the Colonels stop him short, I believe. It all depends on that spot as Brown, 5'4", and they bring him in to try and get the first down, and the clock running. It's 4th and 1. I think Alvernia thought they were going to be able to spike the ball, thought they got the first down, but no, it's 4th and 1. Obviously, you can't clock it there, and they are forced to call their 3rd and final timeout of this half. That's what you get with a first-year football team. There's a bunch of guys. It's funny because all of the Golden Wolves on the field looked to the timeout to have gotten called the second that they saw that he was ruled short. The second that Daniel Scott was ruled short, they all kind of were waiting for the timeout to be called. They reset, kind of realized didn't get the first down, and you see the frustration that they waited a solid 8 seconds to call that timeout. Now no timeouts, 12 seconds to go. In all reality, because you are at the 37-yard line, you know you're not in field goal range. With the amount of time it takes for that play to develop, this will, probably be the last play of the first half if the game plan is to buy Dilcher some time, have him run around, and then get it into the end zone before halftime. That would be my guess. You know, I'm not a coach. I just watch football and talk about it. Reason why. So let's see if I'm any inkling close to right on that. We've had a great back and forth affair. The stats would show that too. This game, neither team is stretched out in front in any aspect of the game. Wilkes, 7 first downs, right in line with the time of possession. Alvernia with 12. Now, Alvernia is controlling the ground. 73 rushing yards for the Golden Wolves, just 28 for the Colonels. Wiley getting about 4 yards a carry. He's only ran the ball 6 times so far today. 4th and 1, we're back, and now we have another timeout, and this time Wilkes takes their final timeout. So I would have to assume that we are at the final play of the first half. We have 12 seconds left to go in the half. It's 14 apiece. This game very important for both teams. Wilkes not wanting to fall to 1-4 in this first season of head coach John Drock. They also want to get their first conference win of the season as Alvernia now playing football in the MAC Freedom. A win would move Wilkes to 2-3 and 1-2 in conference. But obviously, Alvernia in a spot where how nice would it be to come out and win 2 of your first 4 games in program history? A brand new football team, a team that, with the exception of 9 players, or pardon me, I missed 2. With the exception of 11 players, is entirely freshmen. You have 105 young men on this roster, and all but 11 of them, and 94 of them, are in their first year of college right now, just having started college classes. To worry about too. If you can go out 2 through 4 in your first go around doing this as a program, all I can say is kudos to you. With 12 seconds left in the ball on the Wilkes 37, Alvernia in a fairly decent spot here to make a bigger statement, just going into halftime and making that win perhaps reality. We don't want to see that, do we? Let's see what they do. It's a play action. They go for a quick hitter to the aforementioned Scurlock. It would have been a first down, which would have stopped the clock, but it falls incomplete, and they don't convert. So now Wilkes with the ball, 9 seconds left to go on the 37. You have athletes on this field. Tabora can definitely get the ball down the field if you get about 15 more yards here. 9 seconds is enough time to run an out route or maybe a play up the seam if you can get down quick enough, stop the clock, spike the ball. Let's see. No, they are going to go to a knee. So it's the modified victory formation as Tabora takes the snap, takes a knee, and takes us to halftime. Both teams coming off the field, and we don't have anything decided. Wilkes 14, Alvernia 14. We will take a 15-minute break. We will be back in 15 minutes with halftime numbers and the start of the second half. At halftime, your Wilkes Colonels 14, the Alvernia Golden Wolves 14. We will be back in 15 minutes on the John Mendola Show Network.